What's going on, guys? Pegasus from the Wise Guys. We have three separate videos. One with a build that I used in real life on the fly, kind of jank. Then we come back and revisit the deck and talk about the now and how we can play it. And then we got to talk about the future of the deck. Kashtira, Kashtira, whatever you want to call it. The deck's pretty good. Let's get it.
And we're here with Greg. How you doing? Pegasus.
Shout out to this dude, man.
Shout out to this man.
This is like me and him, like putting some cards together, but we're still like short on cards. So before I even start off, you need these cards. Like, just grab all of these cards. Ascended of Thunder, Apex Avian, Dark Samora, Danger Net. Just grab as many cards that say level 7 on them or whatever. And you need Side Beast. So ignore all of this list if you're looking for Side Beast, because this is like an on-the-fly profile. But with that being said, let's get into it.
All right.
Because this did pretty well today. I will talk about that at another juncture in time. Fenrir is the reason why you're here. Card is ridiculous. It's the new Pankratops pretty much generically, but inside of this deck, it also is going to banish stuff completely and then trigger off some of the other effects, as well as just being a walking Pankratops, as well as grab a monster out of the deck. Like, it's doing a lot for this deck. But in case you're not playing this deck, just grab this card anyway, because it's Pankratops on crack.
Yeah, but it's like $40 right now, right?
Facts. which is crazy. Unicorn. How you can remember what this card does is it grabs a spell. It's green. It's the fast way to explain that to you. It grabs the spell card, and also it banishes a card, much like Mind Hacker does generically with its own effect. It does the same kind of thing where it looks at their extra deck and then banishes a card, as well as grab the spell card. And the spell card looks like this, which is Birth. It itself allows you to normal summon level 7s without tributing witches.
That's why you can play Apex some more and a bunch of other whack stuff.
So that's why you get to build a lot of the level 7 stuff. Chaos Hunter is going to be a tech that you're going to mess around with, but I played Shifter, so it would have conflicted. Like, there's so much to like talk about with this deck that it's not going to be covered in one video. So this is just like a preliminary. We got the cards in our hand. All right, let's play it. But this literally grabs this, and this is how you can remember it. It grabs the green card. That's how you remember that.
Green grabs green. Gotcha.
Green grabs green. Green grabs green, and it grabs the green card. I'm sure there's a really horrible, not tasteful joke there. Ogre grabs this card, which is the trap card, which is like a Call of the Haunted. So like, this is like a Premature Burial, Pseudo, and a DD Crow / Dancing Needle / all these cards are just doing so much that it's a lot to explain it to you. But this card is Call of the Haunted-ish. This card is Reborn-ish, Premature Burial-ish. And then they all do like 10 more things after that. But Ogre grabs the trap card. And then also when it attacks, all of them when they attack, declaring an attack, or when a monster effect is activated, they do something additionally. This one looks at the top 5 cards, excavates them, and then you get to pick one and banish it, and then put them back in the same order. So make sure that you're not shuffling around or cheating anybody like that. And don't get cheated by this deck, because that's not what they do. It's really interesting to see if this is going to be its own like anti-meta stuff. Is it going to mix in with Bestial stuff into other decks? What are you going to do with it? That's going to be totally up to you. As far as the cards that you're going to have to play, I did have Astro Karibos. These were easier to get than some of the other cards, but Astro Karibo, literally, you reveal this card, and then after you reveal this card, you pretty much get to put it as material under something, which is a number monster, which is going to be that, or that, or that. And I'm pretty sure there could be a lot more that I could go into, but these are the 3 that I played today. Gradiel shifts kind of with what attributes are on the field. So like, say you have a water and a wind, or whatever, you're protected from water and wind, or earth or whatever. If you're, I don't plan on overlaying over Fenrir as much, but it also can detach materials, then grab materials out of your opponent's graveyard, and then give it other attributes, and that just gets dumb. I could talk about.
So it's kind of like a pseudo duty grow and whatnot.
This card is crazy, but it's going to take more time to really see the perfect applications of when to drop this card at the perfect exact time. I feel like it's a matchup dependent type thing, but this is the reason for the deck. It's these two. This is the real reason for the deck. This activates, you look at their extra deck, chain, take a zone away. Chain, take a card off the top, chain, take a zone away. That's how I can explain that really quick. That's the wheels to everything. In case you don't get to this though, boy, is Big Eye.
Blast from the past.
It's a blast from the past. It's a very, very powerful card. But we'll get back to the extra deck in a second. Just wanted to list it. Astro Karibo, that's the reason why it's a level 7 or a level 4 or it's a level whatever the hell. As long as you have a number.
It's a very good card.
And it makes me want to experiment with playing like Crooked Cook just to have like something.
Hey, wait a second.
Deck. But people are going to be playing Kaijus against this deck, so it is what it is with that. As far as because I couldn't find Ascended, nobody had Ascended, nobody had a whole lot of stuff. I was like, well, what card would work really, really well? And then the homie Brandon was like, here you go. And then I was like, here you go. And then Big Eye was like, here you go.
It's mine.
And then I was like, this is a thing that I actually feel like is going to be a thing going forward. Giving somebody a Kaiju to deal with something that you can't deal with and then taking it back and then making another rank 7 is actually pretty stupid. But I don't know how elite that's going to be. But it's like in a mirror, the only way that you can deal with Shangri-La is to get it off the board because you can't take it away. It's an effect. So this might actually be a thing.
Then you can Kaiju them again if you open 2.
Facts. So it's a lot. It's a ton to talk about. Like it's a ton to talk about. So that's not even the tip of the iceberg. That's a level 7.
The boy.
That's a level 7. So, you know.
Wish you had 3.
Konami. If that was a 3, then I would stop playing Yu-Gi-Oh! 3 Ash Blossom. Ash was crazy all day long. Like this card has been crazy. It's gotten crazier. It's like I feel like we're in the realm where it might actually start to be contemplated about being hit because Ash is doing a lot to a lot of these decks. And they need to be able to keep up with the power creep that these decks are pushing away. And when they're trying to keep up and you hit them with an Ash Blossom, it hurts worse. Like Ash Blossom hurts a lot more right now. And I've already noticed that in one day of testing these new decks in real life. Online doesn't count. You have to play these in real life and get your head cracked by real good players at your locals and higher events like regionals and YCS. Be safe at the YCS. Anybody going? Dimension Shifter, because you can't build any modern deck that doesn't touch its graveyard without it. Dimension Shifter. Instant Contact is the freest extender in this deck. You 100% play this extender because it makes them. And because it makes them, and they're so free, you're paying 1,000 and it's almost like an instant fusion. But it's instant contact. And you're just summoning these. I would play Air Neos because you want to be able to have an ability to just fight through a Gozen and stuff like that. And that's already what's come to my mind. Is because Gozen, what I'm thinking about is playing the Air Neos because this plus the win-win of this can go into Draco Sack, and that can help you get around floodgates and problem stuff that you're already thinking about. And this deck can definitely play Rivalry of Warlords. It's definitely a thing. And that's me covering a lot really, really quickly because I have to get all that out to get to the point of why you play this. And it's pay 1,000 and it's literally like another instant fusion. Read this card and play this card. It doesn't even require you to have the materials in your deck. Play this card in other decks. Like this card is
ridiculous.
The card is ridiculous. Shout out to Armin because this is his. We use
Wacky Man right there. Whack Man.
As far as the draw power, I felt like 2 Desires. I hate Desires, but in this deck, you don't care.
I mean, we have 2 Desires at 2 anyway, so we can't play more than this.
I will have a secondary version and like an additional video where we talk more about this card because I'm playing Birdman, and you can put Birdman inside this deck, make Chen Ying, and then suddenly this card is a knockout punch. And the longer the game goes, the more they're in trouble. So, again, take this version very lightly. Sacred Swords.
I heard that's pretty good in this deck.
Yeah, it says draw. And, you know, they plus off of being banished and you get to grab them back with the spell.
It's ridiculous.
Bernie Mac style, let's move on. Let's move on. Talents is talents, but I would only play 1 in this deck. Dark Ruler, I don't know yet. Still trying to figure it out, but didn't want to play Droplet with Shifter. So,
that's fair.
You know. Probably could be another decent hand trap. Gold Sark, because they combo again with this spell card, in case you never...
Spell card's ridiculous.
The spell card's ridiculous. Wherever the hell it went. There you go. You know. Side Beast in this. You're going to play 3 Side Beasts, 2 or 3 Side Beasts, maybe a Segment Dragon, and you're going to play this. Guaranteed. Moving on. Control. Nasty. And it's nasty going second because if Toad sees this, it's a Toad magnet. So I call this Toad magnet because activate, Toad has to negate it. Doesn't have a choice. Or DPE or something like that. It's strong. Macro. Because, you know, because fuck you, that's why. I was trying to theory macro. Like, why would you not play a Trap Cards version of Shifter? There was the original Shifter. Right, Brandon? Macro Kai, you remember them days? Movie packs? Right. All right. Imperms are imperms. As far as the extra and the side, the extra is a lot of fun. Again, we talk about Gradiel, the attribute thing. Draco Sack to be able to play through like Gozen. So I think Air Neos is a real thing that I probably want to play. There's also a Light Neos, and there's a Water one, and there's a Fire one, and I could continue on. But you definitely play the Wind one because you can't get Gozen matched in this deck. And also, Barrier Statue.
Barrier Statue.
Birds are chirping though. Birds are chirping. Shout out to my deck. Shout out to my deck. But Wind Statue doesn't matter the same way anymore, and that's power creep in itself. And it's on that tier card. And it's on that tier card. Isn't that right, Matt? Isn't that right?
That I never saw once today. Yeah.
Big Eye. Shout out to OGs that've been playing this game for a long time. Y'all know what Big Eye does. The reason you're playing the deck, Mind Hacker is ignorant, and so are these Shangri-La.
Should have probably been a higher rating.
So it means a paradise of some sort. And man, it's paradise because their zones are gone. I landed that combo 3 times today without Ascended to Thunders and without all the perfect cards that I wanted. I landed that 3 times. So I already know as soon as I get everything that I need, if you know how to play this deck, it's going to do it consistently. Dumb. Flare Metal, shout out to Brandon. You know, the Red Eyes GOAT is behind the camera. You know, he might not want to be on camera, so don't put him on camera. He doesn't want to be on camera.
Got him.
He got him, though. Flare Metal. But Flare Metal, I feel like, why not? In cheap skating people for time, that's going to be a thing.
So you a douche. Okay, gotcha.
Armin, and shout out to Akeem, he mentioned this as well. Like, it's a rank 7.
I heard this is like Effect Veiler.
It's a Effect Veiler in a reverse kind of like it's Crumble logo in this deck for this deck. It's the same thing as Crumble logos.
Gotcha.
In Sprite, if you consider playing that. Zeus, because why not? If you can't go into these, you usually want to get into this as fast as possible. And you need to have extenders and as many as possible to set this up to crack them over the head with it. Literally. And if you have Astro Karibo, that's perfect for that. And still messing around with it. You can play more rank 7s, but I was messing around with trying this out just in case they put something I couldn't deal with. Boral Sword is easy to go into, and a lot of times you can just set them up and just have game on board like really, really rapidly, and then this and this. And then the side is the most fun part. Just trying it, because why not try it?
You can make a cook-off.
Why is that a level 7? I don't know. But this is Fall King. There'll be an English version on your camera. But just in case you can't read this one, this says, your opponent can't tribute. Therefore, a lot of times you'll have a setup, and you'll set up this with like Unicorn. You're going to this, and you'll be like, special, effect, add this. And you'll be like, ha. Good luck. And like, you know, that's not that bad against Luandries. It's not that bad against stuff like Drytron where they would have to, you know, deal with it before they contribute. Phantasma is a level 7. Somebody tell me why.
Thanos.
Triple Twin, absolutely ignorant. Anti-spell because, you know, it's anti-spell. You're not playing that many spells. You can take those spells out, take those slots out, put those in, and good night.
We love this card.
And then it's all 0. And it's all over.
Peace out.